Hey, I'm Allison.
And I'm Savannah.
We are two best friends who met and bonded over books.
We love reading across all genres and chatting about stories together.
Join us on our next bookish adventure.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Fabled Friends. I'm Savannah.
I'm Allison.
And today we have our 2026 goals as well as our top 12 books that we for sure want to get to next year. We have made these goals together, but they're also not the same. Some are the same, some are not.
Yeah.
And then these top 12 books are ones that we looked at our TBRs and we picked out the 12 that we feel the most FOMO about, that we really are just calling to us, what we're currently in the mood for. Yeah, just books that we for sure want to get to next year so they can kind of guide our reading for next year.
You lose your library card if you don't finish them.
Well, I don't use my library card as much as I should,
that's
so
maybe a goal.
How about you can't
lose your
buy
reading
any
card.
more books, lose your Barnes & Noble membership.
Oh, yeah. We don't want to do that.
No, that would be so bad.
Yep.
So, a caveat before we go into these, we are readers that we don't like to read the full summary of books before we go into them. Sometimes we do and sometimes we don't. So for most of these books, we don't know exactly what they're about, but we know the general vibes. We know where we got the recommendation for most of them. And we're just going to explain kind of what drew us to the book, but maybe not exactly what the book is about, in case you also like to go into a book a little bit blind and just want to know maybe the vibes. So that's the caveat going into today.
Yep. You'll get more details about what they're about during our wrap-up videos, but we'll still keep those spoiler-free.
Yeah, for sure. Always spoiler-free,
Yep.
Unless stated otherwise.
Yes, we'll make that clear.
Yeah. So should we start with our goals or our priority books first?
Do goals first.
Goals? All right, you go first.
Okay.
What's your first goal?
My first goal is going to be to do one book on GOODREADS instead of like 100 for my
for your challenge.
GOODREADS challenge.
That's a good one.
Because I always, it was like 3 years ago that I finally hit 100 books in a year, which I used to do like pre-kids, pre-college, all of that. And then I hadn't done it again until about a few years ago. And now that's pretty consistent, so it's not really important to me that I hit 100, and now I'd rather work on quality over just pumping out the books. So I'm gonna try and do one and see if that helps me not get in my head about how many books I've read.
Yeah, that's what I did this year. I just did one, and it was so nice to not put a number on it because I'm nowhere near 100, and I feel like if I did put 100, I would have felt bad about myself or wanted more reading time that I didn't have. So yeah, I think that's a good one.
Yeah, and I tried that with you last year, and then
Did you up yours?
I put it up to 100. Yeah. Because
you left me behind.
I think the other few years that I hit 100, I had to really try, and this was my first year that it took no effort.
So your 100 was my one.
Yes.
Basically.
So
you knew you were gonna hit 100, so
yeah,
there was no pressure.
So now that I'm
Gotcha.
Where I want to be with my amounts of reading, I just want to be reading more often.
Yeah.
So even if that means less books because I'm reading bigger books or whatever else, I am where I want to be with how much I read every night and during the day. And so then I'm like, okay, now we can work on better quality.
Yeah. That's my first goal too, is prioritize quality over quantity, and I really want to move away from numbers. So yeah, I will be setting my GOODREADS challenge at 1. Even with, I think I will still keep track of how many books I read in a month just because I like doing that in my journal.
Yeah.
But I am not going to feel bad about myself if I only read 1 or 2, because I know that the months that I'm reading 1 or 2 are going to be huge books, like a lot of words. So basically that one book counts for like 300-page books.
Well, and if you're reading like 8 novellas and they're dumb, or you're reading one 1,000-page amazing book, what's better?
Right. What's better for my reading mood? Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna try to move away from the numbers, not assign them any meaning or like any value, and quality over quantity for sure.
Yeah, I love it.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is to read my shelves. I feel like I did pretty good with that this year.
You did.
Yeah. And I want to keep it up with another goal that you and I have set that we'll bring up in a minute.
Yeah.
But I also made, I think you talked about this a couple videos ago, like a TBR wheel.
Yes.
So they've been going around the internet, but I made a wheel of all the books on my physical shelves, and I am either spinning it, or at least if I'm picking books and I didn't spin it, I'm taking it off that wheel, and so I'm like seeing them slowly go down is really satisfying. And it's just helping me be aware of how much is on my shelves, so I can prioritize at least a few of those a month instead of forgetting about them and just getting what comes up on Libby and then not getting to my shelves.
Yeah. And are you going to do audio for those as well? Like for your physical books, sometimes do them on audio to get through them?
Sometimes. I have quite a few that I really want to read physically for one reason or another, but there are a bunch that I'd be down to listen to as well. And doing a little bit of both.
That'll help get through them.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the one that we both set. My number 2. If I buy a book, I have to start it that week.
Yep.
I am tired of buying hauls of books, just stacks of books, and them sitting on my TBR for way too long.
It's so bad.
It's not great. And I think that I just want to chase that high of buying the book and then reading it immediately. I think that will give me way more satisfaction than buying a stack of books that I don't get to.
Yeah.
And that will also help me read books that I'm in the mood for, because I keep buying these books when I'm in the mood for them and then not reading them, and then I'm not in the mood for them anymore. And I also think that this is going to apply to our pre-orders, right? Mm-hmm. So if we pre-order a book, we're reading it that week that it comes.
Yes.
We're starting it right away. Otherwise, it can't be a pre-order.
Yeah.
We have to just buy it when we want to read it.
Yeah, because we both do this thing where we have a certain dollar amount for Christmas. So it's part of our Christmas gift that we can spend on pre-orders for the coming year. And in the past, I've done a few of those pre-orders just be like FOMO picks.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, no, if I don't feel like I want to read it the second it comes in my mailbox, then I don't need to pre-order it.
No.
So.
Or even books that you're not sure about.
Yes,
right?
We can see how it goes.
One that sounds good, but you're not sure because there's not a lot of reviews or hype around it.
Yeah.
And then I would pre-order it and then read it, and then it would be a dud.
Yeah. It just feels wasteful.
Yeah. I don't want to be wasteful with my reading and with my books. I'd rather save money for the ones that I'm actually going to enjoy and read right away.
Yes.
Because if we're going to be focusing on our TBR books, we don't just want to be adding more books to our TBR. We want to get through them, but we still want to be able to buy books.
Yeah.
We're not doing a book buying ban because that would not work for either of us.
No. And I like supporting the authors I love too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Authors that we're going to read right away.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And I also feel like this past year I did really good reading books on my shelves, and then we go to Barnes & Noble and it's like the whole month of reading doesn't matter because I'm back to my number that I started at. So I really want to see that number going down, and this is the way to do it while not being on a total book ban.
Yes. Yeah. But still giving us the flexibility that if we see a book that we want to read right away that looks like it's going to hit the mood, that there's a lot of hype around, or just a new book that we want to discover, we can still do that.
Yep.
Guilt-free.
Guilt-free reading is always the way.
Yes.
That's what we need. So
there's one caveat to this goal, though, is that gifts don't count.
Gifts do not count. We can just put it on the TBR, be excited about it, but we don't have to read it immediately unless we want to.
Yes.
Maybe we'll be in like the habit of that and it'll happen, but it's no pressure because we like to send each other books from time to time, and we are gifted books from time to time, and it's not fun to have pressure with gifts.
No.
So.
No, I feel like then you're just doing a disservice to the person that gives you the book.
We've had a stressful week. Here's a book. Read it now.
We could really sabotage each other with that.
We would too.
Allison's having a rough week. I'm going to send her a book.
There's another thing on your to-do list. Yeah.
That would be so sad.
That would be
honestly,
so lame.
Maybe we should just stop. Or not stop sending each other books, but other things, you know what I mean? Like
we need to add
stamps, or we
need to add fun things to our list.
Yes.
Instead of just an Amazon book list, we need to add tea and teacups and fun stickers and pens, all of that stuff.
Yes.
So that we have a variety of things.
Yes.
So it's like, here's your pick-me-up.
Or even, like, I don't even know if they need to go on the wish list because I feel like we have a similar taste in all
That's
of those
true.
things, too.
That's true.
Unless we have the same thing. But anyways, we could figure that out. But
Yes.
just a thought, like, I love sending books.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be, like, the default anymore.
Yeah, that's true. We can have a variety. I like that.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good
I'm
year.
think about that.
Yeah.
All right, whose turn is it? Is it yours?
I think so.
Okay.
We already kind of touched on this though. So I'm only going to pre-order like top tier. I want these books.
Yes.
I know I'm going to love this one. If I'm hesitant about if I'm going to like it, or even if I pre-order it and start hearing bad reviews, then I'm going to take it off and then either borrow it from the library or wait. I can always buy it later if I love it and want it on my shelves.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
make my pre-orders not every book that's coming out the next year.
Yeah. The thing that scares me, though, is that there were so many books this year from my favorite authors that I pre-ordered and thought I was going to love, and then I didn't.
It was kind of disappointing.
Like, I can think of 3 off the top of my head right now.
That's brutal.
So I'm scared.
I'm trying to think of what... I can think of one for sure.
Yeah, it was Fallen City by
that's the one I
Adrian
was thinking
Young.
of.
Never Ever After
Oh,
by
that's
Sue
right.
Lin Tan.
Yeah.
And I already forgot the third one that I was thinking of. But you
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
It's just...
Yeah.
But that's part of pre-ordering. That's
It's
part of
true.
reading.
Yeah.
You're always going to have duds when you think it's going to be
Yeah.
amazing.
And it makes their other ones even better because I'm sure Sue Lin Tan will come out with more that you love.
Yeah.
So late and young. So.
Yeah. Once she gets back to adult.
Yeah.
No more YA, Sue Lin Tan. I love
Maybe
YA.
her next
but...
one will be better though.
Well, the next one is the sequel to the YA. So
But I mean,
but like the one
yeah.
after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it will. I think when she gets back to... I don't know. Maybe she can write YA. Maybe this one just didn't
Well,
work for me, but...
Maybe even the second half of this story will be better.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I will not be pre-ordering
Yeah,
that
that's
one,
fair.
though.
Library.
Library, that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so my third goal is no shame DNFs or unhauls. I feel like I'm already pretty good about this. I have no qualms about DNFing a book that I've read maybe a quarter or a third of. I just feel like if I don't like it by then it's just not for me. And there are so many other books in this world that will probably hit that same mood or accomplish the same things that's going to be better for me that I'm just not going to waste my time. Which will also help me get through my TBR because a lot of the books in my TBR I bought like a couple years ago when I was really into YA or romance or romantasy, which I still really like those books, but I feel like I'm more picky about them now just because I have read so many of them. And so I can imagine that I will be not feeling them as much as I would have when I bought them 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I will be DNFing those and then just unhauling them as well. If I just feel like dread, if I think about picking it up, like if my TBR wheel lands on it and I just feel so much dread. Again, that is not conducive to the reading that I want.
Not the vibe we want.
But I also want to give books a chance. So
Yeah.
I will give them a chance, but it's okay if I unhaul them. I don't need to worry about the money I wasted. Like, it's in the past. I can just be better moving forward.
When you can know 25% in if a book's going to be for you.
Yes.
I've thought about this a lot because I have the hardest time DNFing, and I'm like, well, what if the last 25% just like changes me? And I've thought about books that the 25% changed the book for me, the last 25%, and it still wasn't like a 5-star.
No,
It's
it
like,
barely
it went from a
is.
3 to a 4 because the
Right.
ending was so great. And so I'm like, okay, I can survive without a few of those 4 stars that I slogged through the first 3
Yes.
quarters or whatever. So
Yes, because some books you read and you're thinking, oh, like this has potential to be a 4 or a 5-star, so you're going to read the whole thing. But
Yeah.
if it is like feeling like a 3-star, there's no way that's going to jump to a 5-star
No.
most of the time.
it might jump to a 4 if you're lucky.
Yes.
And we can survive without that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I gotta tell myself that more because I'm like, what if it's amazing? Or those books that everyone's loving and I'm like,
Yeah.
why am I not loving this? Maybe something's gonna happen to make me love it, and then I'm like, it's still not happening.
I feel like I just have to remember that there's so many books in this world.
Yeah.
So many.
Yeah.
That if that one doesn't hit, there are like 5 million more that will.
It's totally fine.
Would,
Yeah.
willed. And just combine those 2 words. Okay, what's your next one?
I need to read the chunky, intimidating books on my TBR.
Yes.
I have so many that I'm very excited for, but I get stuck behind that. Well, what if I'm only reading that all month? And this year, who cares?
Who cares?
Then we're just reading 11, 22, 63 that month, and that's fine.
Yeah. Even if we read 12 books next year that are all chunky and amazing,
Worth it.
that's a win.
That's a win. And I see other people that read 12 books in a year, and I'm not like, oh, not a reader. But when I do it to myself,
I know.
I'm like, well,
I
you
didn't read it all.
Yeah, I don't think that about others, just myself. So yes, that's
Yeah,
going to
we
be
need to
a
get over
priority for sure. And honestly, with how much I read, I'm going to read more than that book in a month, but I just get stuck behind it. So
Yeah.
I'm going to do a short, I think, with the 10 books that are like around 1,000 pages each that I'm committing to reading next year.
Yes.
It's a little over a month per book. So
That'll be amazing.
yeah, I'm excited.
Love that.
Yep.
I only have one more goal. How many do you have?
3 more.
All right, give us
Okay.
another one.
So I have a book of the month subscription, and I have had it for a long time. My husband was like, "It's COVID. You need to pick me up. Here's your subscription to book of the month," and it was great.
I love that.
He's the best. But I think I liked the picks a bit more back then, and they've changed a lot since then. And there are definitely still months where there's a pick that is a total winner for me, but I think I need to skip more often on there. Instead of like, oh, that one could be a good one, I can add that to my like Goodreads TBR and get it from the library. And then I can always add it on later too, if I love it and want to have it or whatever. But I've found that when I'm unhauling books, a lot of them are book of the month books that I'm like, I'm not gonna read this.
Pattern
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I need to skip more. I'm like the BFF or whatever with them, so I get a free book of the year, and I get a free book for my birthday, so I don't really want to cancel it, because I'm like, that's 2 free books a year. I'll take that, even if I skip all the rest.
It's so true.
And I can skip whenever I want, so it's worth it to me to keep it, and then occasionally get one, but I think I need to be either same thing. Like, I'm going to read it as soon as it comes, or I'm not going to get them.
Okay, so with book of the month, you
I'm
are
doing
going to
that.
read it as soon as it comes.
Yep.
If you get it.
Yep, I need to do it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's got to be pretty
It's gotta
good.
be solid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which most of the time. So I think
you
I'll
really
be getting very few.
just the free books.
Mhm.
Do the free books count for reading them right
No,
away?
those are gifts.
Okay, that's actually true. Yeah,
Yeah,
it is
my birthday gift and then free book of the year gift. And same with that. I feel like a lot of times the book of the year is I either have the ones I want and I just grab whatever's left because it's a free book, and I don't need to keep those either. So I'll either get a second one that I have and love and give it to you, or not get one. So,
I like that plan.
so
Yeah, nice. I like that. Okay, I'll do my last one. I want to get over my trepidation of committing to series. I feel like I really, really, really like standalones, but there are so many series that I want to read, and I think I'm just scared of the commitment because I feel like I forget books quite a bit, and I'm trying to do better about that by like writing down summaries when I finish books so that I can be ready for the next one in the series. But I still just have this commitment issue of committing to a series. But I think you'll see that with my top 12 priority books of next year that they're almost all series. So I'm gonna really try to get over my fear of committing to series and read more series next year.
have you always had that? Because I feel like when we met, I didn't notice it, but I've definitely noticed it recently in the last year or so.
I don't know if I've always been aware of it, but I have always loved standalones, I feel like. And I always gravitate more towards them.
I feel like you used to jump in a bit more when
Yeah.
we first met. I think the SJM rereads kind of ruined us.
Maybe that, and also maybe just getting into those series and having to wait for the sequels to come out and then reading so much. Like when I was reading 100+ books a year, that was a lot of books to remember, and I would forget. And so then I would be scared to read a series because I'd have to wait for the next one. But most of these series that I have are already all out, so I can binge them. But then I'm also scared of the binging, because then I'm like, am I gonna get burnt out? But now I'm discovering that I can just sprinkle in palette cleansers in between and then just keep going with the series.
Yeah.
But I think I'm just gonna have one major series going on at a time, but with some palette cleansers in between so I don't get burned out of binging them. And then once that series is done, then I can move on to the next series.
I like that plan.
That's my plan.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I think I'm probably going to be doing something similar.
Yeah.
Because I feel the same way. I like series a lot, but it's hard to start one and then decide, are you going to just like fly through it? I think I get a little burnt out if I just fly through them.
Yeah.
But same, I don't want to forget them. So yeah.
It's a balance.
It is.
All right, what's your last two goals?
One is just to utilize the library more. I'm not quite sure what that looks like. I have done pretty well with that. I use Libby a ton.
Yeah.
And so I've done a lot of audio and some Kindle books this year on Libby, but I think I mean that more in like the book of the month books that sound good but might not be ones I want to buy. I can borrow from the library. Or same like pre-orders that I would maybe want to get but maybe reviews aren't great or I'm unsure. Just borrow it and then decide.
Are you thinking mostly audio or physical or ebook?
Okay. A little bit of both. I'm not great at borrowing physical library books anymore.
They're kind of nasty sometimes.
They're kind of nasty and
inconvenient.
And I have so many physical books at home that I'm like, okay, well now this one has a due date and it makes me kind of cranky.
Yeah, and then you're forced to read it.
Yeah, and I'm like, but I want to read all these. I don't know.
We don't like being told what to do.
I know. What the heck is that? So,
okay,
yeah,
nice.
A little bit of that, but
Nice.
nothing crazy. I just want that to be more of an option in my mind like it used to be than
Yeah.
it has been the last few years, I think. Being able to buy books, like having the financial ability to buy books, whereas before I was only using the library, kind of changed me a little further than I want to go. I want to balance it back a bit. Like, okay, calm down.
That middle ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That's
But
a good one.
yeah. And then I want to use audiobook reading a little more for enjoyment and not just like, let's get through these. So I think with the unhauling books as needed, it's not like, okay, I'm just going to fly through this book so I can get it off my shelf. If I feel that way about a book, I don't need it.
Yeah.
And then I can just enjoy my audiobooks instead of like slogging through them sometimes. So,
I like that.
yeah.
And I feel like there's so many good audiobooks recently too. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like a couple of years ago, audio was not getting as much attention as it is now. And I feel like there's so many recommendations for great audiobooks now that, yeah, I just have a huge long list. I'm not just scraping the bottom of the barrel for some random audiobook that's for a book I don't even care about.
For sure.
Now they just produce them so well.
Do such a good job.
Do such a high level of quality that it's sometimes better to do the audio than read them.
Yep. Yeah. I'm like looking at a certain book right there that like, that one I've heard good things about the audio.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I'll bring that up in a minute. But
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway.
Nice. Is that all of them?
I thought it was, but I'm like, we mentioned the other two, so just to keep spinning my wheel, so I'm getting through them and then do better with DNFs.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we would also love to know your goals. If you have any bookish goals for 2026, put them down in the comments. We would love to know.
Yes.
And as well as your top 12.
Yes, I
priority
want to hear
books.
that. Or if there's anything that you've changed in the last few years and you're like, this enhanced my reading life exponentially, let us know.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear it.
Yeah. We want all the ideas.
All the ideas.
We want to know what your guys' reading looks like and how it's changed and maybe stayed the same.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It is. I feel like we've gotten really good at picking the books that are going to suit our taste.
Yeah.
And now we just need to adjust our reading itself.
Yeah, our method of choosing books and
then no guilt.
And
Yeah.
no guilt and
no crazy book buying and that needs to calm down.
Yeah, I feel like we're going in a very good direction for 2026.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
I'm feeling very hopeful.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, should we get into our top 12?
Let's do it.
I'm so excited.
Me too. I'm excited about all of these books.
You go first.
Okay. All right. Gates of Fire. I know very little about this book. It's at Thermopylae, and Ed and Will from the Brothers Gwyn
Yes.
talk about it all the time. They love it. And that's basically all I need to know.
Yeah. It's just a siege.
Yeah.
And
it's a battle. It's small, which is pretty cool. And just, they said even though it's this small, it just has everything you want in it. And they really care about character development. And so the ones that are on the top tier of their lists, I'm interested in.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's got an interesting story. It's probably got some great battles. And then that character development. So that's really all I need.
Yeah. Love that. I want to read The Lost Queen by Signe Pike. I've heard so many good things. This is the one that you're saying that the audio is amazing.
I've heard tandem reading it is the best way to go. It helps with the names and things.
Oh, yes,
like
because this is this Gaelic?
I think so.
Yeah, so I'm sure the name, I'm like looking at these and I do not know how to pronounce any of these.
Well, that's the compound that you read. Her name's Ashlyn Rowell, but I didn't realize that. And it looks like Aisling. Mm-hmm. I did not know that.
Wow.
I know.
That's interesting.
The things that I'm learning. So I'm sure there's a bunch of that in there.
That's the classic reader thing, isn't it? Like you read it and you cannot pronounce anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely have that problem.
Or you listen to it and you can't spell any of them.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly what this is about. I know it has something to do with like Arthur and Merlin. I think one of the characters is Merlin, but before he became Merlin.
Yes.
And it's a brother and sister relationship that there's like these siblings, I think. Anyways.
And there's also some kind of romance in there too.
Yes, romance. Is it Scotland?
I feel like that's correct, but I'm not positive.
Yes, 6th century Scotland.
There we go. Okay.
Perfect. So yeah, I've just heard so many amazing things about this and I can't wait to read it. I think 3 books are out, but I think a 4th book is coming.
There?
Yeah.
4th? Okay.
I don't know when, but yeah.
Cool. Okay. The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young.
I love this one.
It's so very time for me to read this one. We saw Adrienne Young a few weeks ago. She was a delight. Mm-hmm. And when she talked about this book, I was like, oh, I need to read that today. Did I do? No. I need to. But the thing that she said that made me want to read this immediately, she was talking about this was the hardest book for her to write. It was like emotionally gutting for her. And she was talking about, she got married same age that I got married. She was 19 and she loves her life, same as me. She's happy with her partner. She has great kids. I feel the same way. But she also had moments in time where she was like, but what if I had done other things with my life before I got married? What if I had lived this other existence for a bit first? And, you know, you have those thoughts even if you're happy with where you're at. And so this story was kind of written with that in mind. Mm-hmm. And it gave me vibes of The Midnight Library, which by Matt Haig, which I loved. That one was really different. It was a bit heavier and around mental health, but it still lived that, or it wrote out that story of what if my life went this way, that I think the grass is green over here, or this way, or whatever. And I just love being able to see that play out, and then maybe seeing characters discover their life isn't as bad as they think, or whatever. I don't know where this one goes, but it was giving me those vibes, and then the things she was saying resonated with me, so I was like, okay. And I already love Adrienne Young's writing, so.
And I feel like that's her most loved book.
I think
by
so.
So many people.
That's what it seems like to me. So I'm really excited about that one.
Nice. My next one is Boudica, Dreaming the Eagle. So this book is called Dreaming the Eagle. It's part of the Boudica series. This is by Amanda Scott. This is another rec from the Brothers Gwyn. And this is about Boudica, as you can tell by the title. And if you don't know who Boudica is, she was a queen during the Roman Empire. She was the queen somewhere in England. I will learn more about it when I read this book. But she led an uprising against Rome, like a pretty big uprising. And she just had, she was just a very powerful figure. And so I'm really excited to read this one to get another perspective, because I read another Boudica book. But I've heard that this one is absolutely amazing and has some really, really great character development and really hard emotional things, which I do enjoy in books. So Yeah, I'm excited to read this one and read the rest of the series as well.
I will go ahead and add
Oh, yes.
to that.
We both have
because
the
we
same
both want to read
one.
this one.
Yeah.
Ed and Will said, if you know nothing about Boudica, just read this book to find out. You don't need to know anything and you won't be lost, and this will give you what you need out of that. So, which is good because I know nothing about Boudica. But they talk about it so highly. One of their most talked about books, and everything they say, the character development, how everything is built throughout this series is incredible. So I trust them, and I'm really looking forward to reading this one.
Yeah. I'm always about a female warrior queen.
Sign me up. For sure.
My next one is I cheated. So my top priority for next year, which I probably should have said this one first, but is the Realm of the Underling series. I mean, we can put like the whole series picture right here so you can see it. But it's this whole expansive series, but within this series there are different mini series. So you have like the first trilogy, which is the Farseer, and then you have the second series, which is the Live Ship Traders series. And then it just keeps building and building until you get to the final trilogy that kind of ties everything together. So I've already read the Farseer trilogy, which is the first 3 books, and I'm halfway through the Live Ship Traders at the moment. And because this series just builds so much over all of the books, I really just want to finish this series, go from start to finish so I can get the full emotional impact of it, and also read some palette cleansers in between. Because it's a very large series, I don't think I could read 13 1,000-page books in a row.
That would be quite the feat.
They're really thick. So I'm currently reading Mad Ship, which is the second book in the Live Ship Traders, and then I'm just gonna keep continuing with the Realm of the Underlings, which I've heard great things about. The first series, so the whole thing has kind of a medieval feel, a medieval time period. The first series is on land of medieval, and it follows basically the story of a boy from when he's a baby to how he becomes a man. So it's a very coming of age story throughout those 3 books. And the second series has jumped to the sea. So you have some pirate vibes, trading vibes in a different part of the world. So yeah, we'll see where the next... I don't know anything about what the later series are about, and I kind of want to be surprised. I mean, I can kind of tell by the titles, but I'm just excited to see where this whole story of this whole kingdom, whole world takes me. So, should be good.
I'm excited. I'm intimidated by those as well, but I'm gonna get to them. I'm gonna start them.
They're so good. They're so worth it.
Yeah.
Even though they're big, chunky books.
Yeah.
But
that's what we're doing next year.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah. Okay, this one is The Children of Gods and Fighting Men by Shauna Lawless, and I feel like I've seen this all over BookTube.
Yes.
People are loving it. I've heard that this book is great, and they only get better as the series goes on. Is this one a trilogy? And then there's a second era. The first book of the second era just came out recently.
Are there novellas for this series?
I think so. I'm not sure how many.
I feel like I've heard such good things about the novellas.
I have too. People are shocked by how good they are. I think her writing is just amazing. So.
Yeah, and it's only getting better apparently.
Yes.
Yeah.
So obviously that has me sold. It's a Viking story, right? I think that's really all I know.
Yeah.
It's
Is this in Ireland?
I think it's Ireland. This one starts in 981 AD.
Okay.
And honestly, I'm sold.
Same.
That's it. That's it.
Same.
So I'm excited to finally read that one.
Love it. I want to read 11/22/63. This would be my first Stephen King novel. I read his autobiographical writing book that's called On Writing, and I enjoyed it, but I want to read one of his novels. And I've heard such good things about this one. This one is about the Kennedy assassination, and I think it also has romance in there, and I've just heard that it's a page turner and thrilling and mystery, and yeah, just sounds really, really good.
So good.
So
Yeah.
can't wait to read this one.
Awesome. Okay, this one is called Daughter of the Empire. I heard about this one from Maddie from Chris and Mads.
I haven't seen that cover before.
Yeah, this is
cool.
the like older one. I think I like the other one a little better, but this felt really nostalgic and fun.
Yeah, I like it.
So
it's cool.
Yeah, and she basically said this is like Dune with the political intrigue, but with a female protagonist. And I was like,
Which
okay,
sounds so good.
Again, all I need to know.
Yeah.
And she loved it, and she's like really excited to continue the series.
Yeah.
I believe it's a trilogy.
I think so.
Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that one.
Nice. My next one is Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff. I feel like I am a little bit intimidated by this book. I like vampires, but I don't know, like something about this. I mean, just look at the cover. The cover is intense, and so I'm going into this expecting that it's going to be kind of intense and high emotions and like a lot of violence and everything, which I don't know why I'm intimidated by that, because usually I'm fine. But I've also heard amazing things about his writing and the characters and just huge emotional payoffs for this series. So I am excited just to see what I think when I read this.
Me too.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like Dracula, but I get Dracula vibes.
Oh yeah.
Just the like atmosphere. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that part. I love a good atmospheric book.
Yeah, me too. And these books too, like there's so much
Beautiful
art in them. Yeah.
I'm a sucker for that.
It sounds very immersive when you read it.
Yeah.
So.
You may be catching on to a theme, but Brothers Gwyn are one of my top recommendation sources, yours too.
Yep. And
I haven't read John Gwyn. So I'm going to remedy that this year and start with The Shadow of the Gods. I'm going to read this whole series. Honestly, the atmospheric Viking storytelling, like their family lives that. Yeah, in modern day. Seriously. And so I feel like who better to write that and pull it off than John Gwyn. So that alone, I mean, and look at this. Like, tell me you're a fantasy reader and you don't want to read that. It just looks so good.
Yeah.
So
it's the most Viking immersive book I've ever read.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's just a lot of words and characters that the Brothers Gwyn talk about that I want to be in the know on.
Yes,
so
for sure.
This year I'm going to be.
I love that. One of my for sure palette cleansers that I want to get to is The Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker. And I think this takes place within like the Iliad, and it's in the words of, let's see, it says Briseis, I don't know, the Trojan queen and captive of Achilles. And so it's basically the female perspective of the Trojan War. And I've heard that the writing is absolutely phenomenal. And it's also just really thin book. And it's something I want to read more of, is like this time period, especially from a female perspective. I feel like that's a gap in what I have read before. So I'm excited to read this one as well.
Awesome. So funnily enough, I want to read Daughter of the Forest, which I started reading this year. I do this. I can start reading a book that's amazing, and then I just set it down, and normal people would be like, oh, that means you don't like it. But no, I love it, and then I'll just pick it up months later and finish it, and it's 5 stars. I don't know why I'm this way. But I started it, and I was like, oh, Savannah, this book is for you. And then she picked it up and read the whole thing before I finished. But
it was so good.
It's like old fairy tale vibes and forests and creatures and kidnapping and different things like that, right? Yeah. And so I love the old fairy tale stories and that atmosphere. Yeah. And you, from page 1, you just feel the atmosphere of that, and it's very good. So I am excited to finish this book. I'm not that far in, but I'm far enough that it feels like cheating, but I am going to finish this one this year.
Yeah, that one is like, if you loved fantasy as a middle grader, like if you were always going to your school library and getting the fantasy books and loving them, this is basically that, but way more adult and has adult emotions and yeah, so good.
Very excited.
My next one is Malice by John Gwynne. So I've read his Shadow of the Gods series, and so this is just the next series that I want to read. This is his first series, and I think this one is less Viking and more, is it medieval or like...
That's the vibe I get.
Yeah.
But I don't know for sure.
Something like that. And again, just another Brothers Gwynne recommendation, and I've heard that there's a lot of great point of views, and it's a 4-book series, and so I think it will have another high emotional payoff throughout the whole series. And I really do like John Gwynne's writing style. It's, you know, he knows that what he's talking about with his battle scenes, with just the immersion of the world and what they're eating, what they're wearing, what weapons they're using. I really, really love that aspect of it, that a fantasy book can feel historical, and that's what his books so far have shown me, so I'm excited to see that in this one too.
And you know, it's like historically accurate too, which is fun.
Yes.
I love when I can learn something about a time period I didn't know very well.
Yes,
But
it still has fantasy elements to it.
I love that. All right, this one I know basically nothing about.
I don't know anything about this one.
It's called Grave Empire by Richard Swan. It basically just sounds like, I don't know, like those grimdark books almost.
Yeah.
That vibe. I know that there's a touch of horror elements in this book, which I really enjoy when it's done well. But it seems like one of those empire is falling apart stories, and you're just kind of, there's war, there's different aspects with all of that. I think there's creatures throughout, so it's fantasy and politics and some horror, all of that. But I've just heard a lot of trusted sources really enjoying it, and I'm really interested in trying some Richard Swan, so we're gonna give it a shot.
Nice. I've heard good things.
Yeah.
This one we've already talked about, just Gates of Fire by Stephen Pressfield, Battle of Thermopylae. And I grew up listening about this story because my dad loved telling us as kids about 300 Spartans that held off, millions of Persians. My dad loved that story, and so I want to read a historically based fiction story about it, just so I can know more about it and have more of like an emotional connection to the story than I already do. So excited to read this one as well.
It's gonna be good. This one is called The Daughter's War by Christopher Buehlman, and basically it's a female protagonist.
Yeah.
There's goblins and battles and war, and then this girl named Galva, and I've heard the emotional impact is strong in this one. Her character arc is awesome.
It's a standalone.
It's a standalone. Well, it's kind of a series, but we've seen that this one can stand on its own and you'll be just fine. So that's what we're going
And
for.
they prefer it that way.
Yeah.
They didn't like the second one as much.
Yep. So that's what we're gonna go in with. But yeah, goblins, guts, and glory.
What more could you need in
We're
a book?
good. Yes.
And another badass female main character.
Yep.
Because I think,
So
did they say
that's-
that all of the men have died in the war, so only the women can
That's
fight
right.
now?
Yes. That's the Daughter's War. Yeah.
Amazing.
I know.
My next one is The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. I really just want to read more historical fiction, and I've heard really great things about this one. This is one that we're going to be buddy reading together throughout the whole year. So we're probably going to take it pretty slow because
If
it
you
is
can handle that.
I know. We'll see.
You're gonna start it and be like, I finished it. It's January 10th. Like, wait, was this supposed to last us 6 months?
I am not going to read this in 10 days. It's 973 pages.
I mean, you've done crazier things.
Yes, but not that crazy. I don't know, man. But yeah, we'll just see how this buddy read goes. But
It'll be fun.
it'll be fun.
Either
I'm
way.
excited. I'm excited
Yep.
to see what all of the hype is about.
Yep. Okay. I am just a broken record. This is the Silverblood Promise, another Ed and Will
Yes.
recommendation. I think James Logan, this is his debut. I want
Not
to say.
sure.
I'll have to fact check that. But the main character is an academy dropout, and he was in a duel that ended poorly, and he was like an heir to an ancient noble home, and he lost everything, and so now he's having to figure out his life, figure out his new purpose. Sounds like a really great character arc story, and I've heard that book 2 is even better than this one, but this one's incredible, so I'm excited.
Do we know how many books are in this series?
I don't think it's duology though.
So
I think there's at
ano-
least 3.
probably another one coming.
Yeah. The second one recently came out, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine is The Children of Gods and Fighting Men, again by Shauna Lawless. Ditto to everything that Allison said. Don't know much about it, but
Don't need to know more, right?
I've heard amazing things.
Yeah. I am on my Red Rising journey. Pierce Brown. I read Red Rising, Golden Sun, and Morningstar last year. Loved them, and so I'm gonna keep going. I know that this is era 2, and that's all I know, and that's all I want to know. I do not want to know a single other thing. I'm very excited for the rest of these books. I will finish the whole series this year for sure.
Nice.
Yes, I'm doing it. So
I feel like I'm waiting for him to announce when Red God is coming out,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna binge them all.
I think it's gonna be 2027. That's my prediction.
That's good, because I have the Realm of the Underlings
Yeah,
Elderlings
you have-
to read
Yep.
next year. I don't
Yep.
have time to read
Maybe
it.
those next year.
Another one on mine, The Daughter's War, same as Allison. Sounds like my vibes.
It's gonna be good.
Love it.
You haven't read this one, right?
No,
Okay.
but I want to.
Yeah, The Wolf Den by Elodie Harper. This is in Pompeii, right?
Yeah.
And it's just a woman who is a slave and prostitute in Pompeii, and her experience, what she has to go through. It sounds really emotionally difficult, but I really love a book that can do that well.
Yeah, I feel like they said, the Brothers Gwynn said it was hopeful.
Yes,
too.
yes.
Just had a lot of
It
hope
wasn't
and
just
lightness to
dreary
it
and
too.
depression in spite
Yeah.
of what she's going through. I think they said she is really good at being hopeful in spite of her circumstances.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not good at that, so
No.
I really love reading a book where the character is good at that, because even though I'm never going to be a prostitute in Pompeii, I'm like, oh, I could have a better attitude about my life.
Yeah,
I could
it's
do
inspiring.
that. Yeah, so I love a book that shows me a character that is amazing at that, and I'm really excited to get that series read. So
Nice. My last one is King Sorrow by Joe Hill. I have heard nothing but stellar things about this book. I think it's about these kids in college that summon a dragon.
The things that you hear, you're like, oh, we're at a university. Oh, there's dragons. And I'm like, what is this book? I'm
Right.
so excited to read it.
Yeah, same. I've heard that it has a lot of genres going on at once. It has horror, it has fantasy, it has academic.
And somehow Joe Hill manages it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've heard that, yeah, people say that it's a perfect book.
I'm so excited.
So I'm really, really excited to read this one.
Yeah.
I think it's a standalone, right?
I think so, yeah. Which...
I don't know if I would call it a palate cleanser, but I'm definitely
People are
think
binging
that
it.
I could, yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like I could picture myself binging this book in between Realm of the Elderlings books.
For sure.
So, yeah, this is definitely one of my top priorities.
Yeah, that one's on my chunky book list, so
Yes.
we'll get to those. But
So good.
yeah,
Is that all of yours?
that's all of mine.
Again, we want to know what yours are, so put them in the comments of your top priority books.
Yep.
Make sure to, if you want to see our reactions of these books that we read, feel free to subscribe so that you can see our wrap-ups when we chat about these
Hold
books.
us accountable
Yes.
to reading these books we've committed
We
to.
must.
We have
We
to get
must.
to them. Yes.
It's just 12 measly books.
We can do that.
We can do that.
Yes.
Never mind that most of them are starting a
Doesn't matter.
ginormous series.
Doesn't matter. It's fine.
Yeah, it's
So,
fine.
yeah, let us know what you plan to do for 2026 so that we can maybe adjust our goals and make our reading even better.
Yes.
Yeah, and until our next bookish adventure, happy reading.
Bye.
Bye.